So, good evening, everyone. So, I warmly welcome you all to this meditation center, Vipassana Meditation Center. I hope it was not that hard getting up the hill. Okay. So, if you have any questions regarding the Buddhist philosophy, regarding your mind about this center, you can raise those questions. Based on your questions, we can do a discussion. So, if you have any questions, you can ask them. Yes.
What's the history of the center? How was it formed and why?
The history of this center started 10 years ago, and I'm a disciple of the founder of this center. He's in Colombo. He's the one who's normally doing this, but he's not available, so that's why I'm doing this. So why it was started is to help people to understand their minds. There are people in this world who struggle. There are people in this world who suffers from life. There are people in the world who want to live another way of life, to find happiness as Buddhist says so. So this is a place to help these people.
How many months?
We have 26 months, and we have 15 to 16 months also living. Yes.
Where does your funding come from to have this place?
So the funding comes from, so like I said, our chief monk, he's been doing sermons all around the world. So the people who listen to his sermons, they donate money to run this place. It's only run on donation. We run on donations, yes.
Do you also teach the young children if they want to learn?
Yes, we teach young children as we have started a university in these premises. Like a year ago, now a year and a half ago, we started a campus. So the campus is all free for every student. Student as in they're not going to become monks, but they are learning about technology. We have 2 batches, one in IT and one in music. So we have 200 students who are living here. We provide the accommodation, the food, the education, it's all for free. That is also something that we've been doing these days.
Year round or a segment, 3 months at a time, a year round you provide them to the students?
Are you asking that we are around?
Oh, no, the music and IT.
Yeah, they are living here. So the music students will be here for 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah. The IT students will be here for 2 years.
So you have missionaries that go out into the world from here?
Missionaries?
Yeah.
Give me an example.
You don't have missionaries that leave here and go out.
How do you mean? As in people who go to preach them or?
Well, people who are monks here that may go somewhere else as a monk and visiting and teaching.
Yes, we have monks like that.
How long does it take to go through the process to become a monk?
It depends on each and every person. For some people, it doesn't take that much time. So for some people, it takes some time to really ease into the idea of monkhood. For some people, it doesn't take that much time. Maybe 2-3 days is enough for them to understand and be. So the getting ready to being a monk is when people come to become a monk, their minds always go outside. They have desires. We all have desires about the world. So even though we have desires, the purpose of monkhood is to understand your desires and to get enlightened eventually. So to do that, you have to have an understanding about your desires. So when a person understands about his desires, what happens is he can stay focused in the path that he wants to follow, or else he will be going with the desires that he has. So if he can stay on the path, if he is confident enough that he can continue on this, then he can easily become a monk. Yes.
These process of being part of this organization to become a monk. But it means like to learn about what you do, but you don't want to be a monk.
Yes, you can do that as well.
But in the process in and of itself, literally how to be a monk. When you're fully understanding what you see.
You mean like a long-term monk?
Yeah, right.
You mean like a?
Well, like,
No, what did you ask?
Like you said, like a long-term monk.
Okay. So, being a monk or not doesn't really matter. What matters is there can be people who are monk but who doesn't do the teachings, who doesn't follow the teachings of Buddha. There can be monks who follow these teachings. There can be people who are not monks that follows the teaching. So it is all about this teaching. It is all about understanding your mind. So the teaching is about understanding our own minds. So like you said, for some people, it can be like, you don't have to become a monk, but you can just follow the path. There are people like that as well. But when you are a monk, now, like you said, we have a teaching. We have something to learn. We have something to do as a monk. So what we have to do as a monk is to understand our own minds. What do you mean by understanding our mind? What I meant by understanding our mind, we are trying to find the cause of suffering. From our childhood, we always wanted to find pleasure in life, right? From everything that we do. First, we learn things. We go to school in order to become educated, and be successful in life in order to become happy. Then we go on to have relationships. Then we go on to go on trips. Then we get married. Then we do jobs. There are lots of different things that we do in order to get happy in life. That is our main motive: happiness, pleasure. But when you seek this happiness and pleasure in life, what you come across is sadness and sorrow. You will come across that. Yes, there is happiness and pleasure, but you will also come across sadness and suffering in life. So what Buddhism teaches is a way to enjoy and be pleasure in life without this suffering from the mind. That is what enlightenment means. So to do that, you have to do a research about your own mind. So if you're a monk, you have more time. You are with people who are doing the same practice. But if you're not a monk, if you're a person who is doing a job and if you're in that lifestyle, it is also a possibility that you can achieve this, what we're talking about. But it would be a bit hard because you are with people. All of your surroundings doesn't want to understand your mind. The pattern of their mindset is not to understand it. What I meant by understanding is, like I said, from my childhood, if I give you an example, from my childhood, one time or another, my teachers, my parents, were the pain in my life. What I meant is like they're saying always, okay, don't do this, don't do that. For some time, I think for all of us, our parents were a pain in our life, right? Not as in because they do anything to us, but always saying, don't do this, this is right, this is wrong, always like saying things. So from myself, I can remember I was angry at my parents at one point or another. So what I'm getting at is, every time we are angry at something, every time we are upset about something, every time that we are suffering from our mind, we always try to point our finger towards some person who's outside. It can be your parents, it can be your partner, your wives, your husbands, your children, your neighbors, your countrymen, government, the environment, the climate changes, so many different things that we can blame on. That is what normal people do. That is what we do normal. You are the reason why I am suffering. Why did you do like that? Because you did this, that is why I am in pain. So don't do that. So we are always pointing our finger towards some person who's outside. But in reality, the reason why you suffer, the reason why you are in pain is not because of some person who's outside. It is because of your own way of thinking. You had expectations in your mind saying, okay, people should not behave like this. People should not blame you. These expectations of yours that which you have created, that is what you get attached to. That is what your desire is towards. It is not because of some person who's outside that you're suffering. It is because of your own expectations you're suffering. So that process, When you understand it, you will become enlightened from mind. So that is what monkhood is all about, being enlightened about our minds. So like I said, it can be done whether you are a monk or not. It is just understanding. So, but if you're a monk, you have more time to do this research about your mind. Yes.
Does that leave a conflict with the rest of the public that aren't in the same mind? Why would you do that?
Conflict, what do you mean?
Well, you're in conflict. You said you could become a monk and still be part of a different world. So you'd be in conflict with being in suffering. How do you rectify that?
That people suffer in life or?
Yes. You see it all the time. People that are suffering. How do you rectify that to being one?
Okay, I myself?
Be yourself, the organization, and
We don't try to rectify that at all.
says things.
So, what I'm saying is, we don't try to rectify that. When someone comes in and say that they have a problem with their mind, that they are suffering from something, we don't try to show them that they are suffering from something else. What we show them is that they are suffering from their own thoughts. It is because of their own expectations that they suffer. That is how we rectify them. So if something happens outside, if there are people suffering from outside, if I am suffering from because of that, then again, it is not because of those people suffering I suffer. It is because of my own way of thinking that I suffer. I don't suffer. I don't feel pain. I don't feel angry about anything happening around me because I have understood something. My understanding is that my expectations, my own imagination is the one that I'm suffering from. If my imagination becomes reality, then all your problems start to be real.
What you say, as long as you're still alive and you're righteous mind, suffering is not itself. You better find the person itself. It's 95%.
Yeah, it is their own thing.
I guess along with what Jeff was asking, I guess I'm curious. Okay, so you've reached a point of enlightenment. But how does your faith transfer to people who are truly maybe more live in mud houses, whatever, who truly are suffering? I mean, I was raised in fairly good circumstances, but I've been around the world and seen people who truly physically are suffering. How do you transfer what you believe and the state that you're in to those people?
So, physical pain is something that you cannot overcome. If you are sick, like if you have cancer, if you have like hunger, that cannot be overcome by philosophy. You can overcome that. If you're hungry, you can take food to overcome that hunger. If you're diagnosed with cancer, you can see a doctor and take medicine to cure that. But philosophy, but teaching can always open your eyes to the truth in reality in life. You will not suffer from mind, even though you are like you said. They can be poor with money, they can be living in mud and all that. But if they're suffering from their mind, that is because of their own misunderstandings. It is because of their thinking about the future and they suffer. It is because they are thinking about the past and they suffer. So that teaching, if someone can understand that, there are instances in Gautam Buddha's lifetime as well, where people who are living in the mud, who, if he has the potential, if these people have the potential to understand this message, then he would never suffer from his mind. He understands that what he suffers from is his own mind. He didn't have the physical pain.
No question. If someone is suffering in their mind and they're seeking enlightenment and they come to you and the surroundings, do you provide guided meditation to change their mindset? What do you do to help these people in the process?
So how we help is according to the person. It is perspective of that person. If a person can really understand this message, if a person really truly understand, okay, everything that I suffer from, it is in my mind, then we will take a different approach. So if there's a person who really doesn't understand this, but he's suffering from life that he want to achieve, like he want to be happy in life again. So for those people, there are some other things that we. Now there's meditation, like you said, meditation can be done in two different ways. Two major practices in Buddha. The first one is the concentration meditation. It is where you sit down in a quiet place, you close your eyes, and you concentrate your mind into a certain thought. Or you concentrate your breathing, not to the whole process, but to the tip of your nose or your stomach. You concentrate your mind for a long time, then you will feel a bliss. So that is concentration meditation. What we practice here is something different. What we practice here is called vipassana. It is not that we don't practice the other thing, we do practice that as well. But what majorly we do is called vipassana. So what vipassana is really is about understanding your mind. So you understanding your mind happens in the place that you're most stressed out. It is the place that you're really angry about something, that is where you do vipassana. So the person comes in with a problem in his mind. We try to show them that you don't really suffer from the thing that you said that you suffered from. It is your own mind. It is your own misunderstandings about your mind that you suffer from. If I tell you an example, if I give you a simple exercise, I'll give you each and every one of you a little piece of paper, a blank paper. Then I'm going to ask you to draw a devil in that paper. You know a devil? A devil, a demon? A demon. I'm going to ask you to draw a demon. So you're drawing a demon. Then I'm going to give you some colors and I'm going to ask you to paint this demon that you drew. So it has like red big eyes, it has long teeth. So you drew the demon and you just painted this demon of yours. Now I'm going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to show it to you and say, be frightened, be afraid looking at this piece of paper. Can you do that?
Sure.
Can you do that?
No.
No, because you know that you are the one who drew this painting. You know that this is, in reality, this is just a piece of paper. You can't be really frightened for it because you are the one who painted it. You are the one who drew all these edges of it. But the same process happened in all of our minds. Our mind is the creator of all your thoughts. It creates thoughts at every given moment about all the things around you, about your wives, about your husbands, about your kids, about your country, about your parents, about everything, about people. All your ideas are generated in your minds. Then what happens is, you believe these ideas to be true. You believe this drawing of yours to be true. Then you point them, okay, this is right, this is wrong. This is good, this is bad. You select them and group them into different ideas. You accept some ideas and you reject some ideas. You get attached to some ideas and you reject those other ideas. So your mental imaginations, when these imaginations become the reality, then all your problems, all your suffering will start in life. That is how it happens. The purpose of a phone is to take calls, is to help us communicate with each other. The purpose of a mug, the duty of a mug is to hold water, helps us drink water. The purpose and a duty of a mind is to generate thoughts. It always generates thoughts, never-ending process. If you have no thoughts, then it means you have dementia or something. It's a sickness. For a normal person, if a healthy person, if he has a mind, it will always create thoughts. That is okay. But these thoughts of yours, when these thoughts become a reality for you, you will get attached to those expectations. You will get attached to those ideas in your mind. When these ideas become real, for your kid, you have an idea, okay, he's a good kid. When that kid does something bad, so the good and bad is also in your mind. according to you, according to your perspective, if this kid do something bad to your perspective, you get angry. You blame the kid. So if you're burning from within, if you're angry about something, it is always because of these mental imaginations had become reality for you. But in reality, those are just imaginations. It is not the reality. It is like when you look up in the sky, you can see it as blue. It is truly blue. If you look up, even now, if I look there, it is blue. But if someone took up to touch this blue sky, can he meet this blue sky that he is going to find? Will he ever meet there? Can he go and touch someplace and say, okay, this is blue, this is the place that I looked when I was down? No. But here, if you look up, you can see, okay, there is a blue sky. But it is an illusion. The imaginations of your mind is also an illusion. If you believe them to be true, if you believe them to be reality, then automatically you are bound to suffer. That is what we try to practice. Yes.
So your example of a child, your child that upsets you, makes you angry, or a partner or a friend, and you don't wish to have that anger, how do you tell yourself it's imagination, and what technique would you do to change that so that your behavior follows?
So the technique is not much. We just live our lives. We just live normal lives. But when you are angry about something, let's say you are angry about your kid for something that he did, you will blame the kid. Why did you do this? You will punish the kid. After all the process is over, you think from your mind and think for a second, say, okay, was I really angry about my kid? Or was it my imagination? Was it my expectations that I had kids should not do this? That is your imagination. That is your expectations that which you get attached to. When you are attached to an expectation of yours, that is why you always get angry in life. Give me an example in your life. If you have got angry about something without an expectation that which did not come true, can you give me an example?
People said it. As they said, child decides to manage the knowledge.
So I could not hear that.
Ouches.
Okay.
Ouches. Fire.
Okay.
That stop the house burns down.
Yeah, I understand. So it's like this. So let's say your kid start lighting the couch. So good and bad is according to the societies that you live in. What is good in US is not what is good in Sri Lanka. What is bad here is not what is bad over there. But we can agree that setting couch on fire is a bad thing in every country. That's right.
That's universal.
That's universal, okay. But let's say your kid set the couch on fire. If you burn in from within, then it is not what he did that what burns you inside. You can set rules. You can punish the kids. Like I said, we have a campus here. So I am the one who's like trying to keep the peace and trying to keep a law in this place. So like you said, there are like 150, 200, almost 200 students living here. We also have rules here. You can't do this. You have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. There are rules here. If these kids break the rules, then I go and ask them first time, okay, don't do this. If they don't listen for the second time, I shout at them. If they don't listen again, they have to get suspended. There are rules. But if you're burning from within, if you're losing sleep over it, then it is not what he did. It is your own imaginations and your own mind. You can punish the kid. You can shout at the kid. You can set rules also. No problem. But if you're burning because of it, then it is not the kid's doing. It is your own doing. If you keep thinking about it and if you keep on thinking about it over and over again, if you're like really frustrated from yourself, why did I brought up a kid like this? You're thinking, why did he do this? Normal kids don't do this. You're thinking and thinking over and over about it. You're suffering from mind. I don't ever suffer from my mind. These kids can do so many things. They do so many things. They break rules all the time. But I never lose sleep. I never lose sleep over it. That's the difference. There are rules. In here, there are lots of rules. To almost 200 kids, there are rules. They have to wake up at 4 o'clock. They have to go and do the kitchen duties. They have to go clean the places. So many rules. If they break the rules, there are punishments. I am also one who do punishing as well. Sometimes I even have to hit, as in to discipline them. Sometimes I have to hit them. I don't go and hitting them every time, but sometimes we have to use force as well. But I never suffer from my mind. Can't quite call it peace, but yeah, it's an experience. For an example, let's say you're a person who has not drinking water in your life. You don't know what water feels like. So I'm going to drink some water and I'm going to try to explain to you how water feels like. So you will never understand this experience of mine, will you? I can say so many things. Okay, it felt like this. It felt like in my tummy. It's cold. It's hot. I can say so many things. But what you can do is you can take a sip of water and understand yourself how water feels like. So the experience is not something. It can't be quite put into words. It is an experience.
What about a situation where we established the rule and eventually you determine that the rule was not correct? When you put the rule in place, so does that cause you anxiety from being able to sleep?
No, I just changed the rule. The rules have changed. That's it. The rules changed all the time. No point in being guilty about it. No point in worrying about it. I made a mistake. Just change the rules. That's it. Let's say you worry about it. Now maybe some people got hurt. Maybe some people get downgraded or something bad happened to the people because of the rule that I put. Let's say that I worry about it a lot and the problems of them get solved. Then it is okay to worry. But their problems will not be solved because you worry. Isn't it so? Let's say you worry a lot and the problems of the other people will get solved. Will that happen? No, it won't happen. There's no point in worrying about things which has happened in your life. People make mistakes. That is okay. You made a mistake. If you have to apologize to someone, you apologize to someone. If you don't have to, change the rules. That's it.
So, is it correct to interpret that to have a peaceful mind, just have low expectations?
Love expectations.
Low expectations.
Okay,
So-
love expectations.
Expectations, you won't have troubled mind. I seem to. And
What you say is true. But can you live a life without expectations? Can you from today on say, okay, I will lower my expectations? Can you do that?
culturally, no, I was
No.
caught up.
Practically, no, you can't do that. Even myself, I have expectations. I'm teaching English to kids. I have 200 kids to look after. I have expectations. Okay, people don't do this, don't do that. How to improve these other kids? So many expectations. But what you can lose is the attachment towards expectation. Like I said, our minds, it always creates and generates thoughts. So if your mind constantly creating thoughts, then it is an expectation, isn't it so? You think about something happened in the past, you are thinking about things that you have to do. So the things that you have to do are expectations, isn't it so? You're thinking, well, what are you doing tomorrow? And you have an expectation, okay, this has to happen like this. I also have expectations. But when you think, okay, these expectations of mine, it has to happen like this, this must happen like this. That is when your problems come. So how do you lower this attachment of yours? It is through understanding. What do you have to understand? The thing that you have to understand is, even though I think something that like this should happen, we live in an uncertain world. We don't know what will happen at the next moment. This is an impermanent world. If the Big Bang happened and all this creation exists, and if this whole world and everything will disappear one day, we all know this, right? The sun will burn out, the plants and all that will get destroyed eventually. So if that is also bound to get destroyed in life, what point of us having an expectation like this must happen like this? It is very poor imagination. You're thinking about, okay, this must happen like this should happen like this. No, there are plenty of ways things can happen. Because we all live in a dualistic world. If you say you can, there is also can't as well. If you say height, there is low as well. If there's light, there's darkness as well. If you think of something has to happen like that, there's always the opposite of it, the other side of the coin. When you get attached to one extreme, you then and there itself, you reject the other side of it. What I'm saying is, don't try to do either of them. Understand the both extremes. Understand, okay, even though I have an expectation as such, there's always another outcome. That if you understand this, I know from my own experience, because I understood it, then you will be in a middle path. Your mind will come to the middle. If your mind is in the middle, you will not attach or either reject any ideas in your mind. You will be in the middle. So if you're in the middle, in Gautam Buddha's teaching, if you're in the middle, that is the path to enlightenment. If you continue in this middle path, in one moment, you will vanish from this middle as well. So that is quite deep. That is enlightenment. So what do you have to practice? Lowering your expectations won't happen. It is not practical. But understanding is something that you can do. What you have to understand is, like I said, when you are living your normal life, if you're upset about something, if you're pressured in your mind about something, if you're stressed out about something, if you're angry about something, always look into your mind and say, okay, what was I really angry about? Is it because of some person who's outside? Is it because of my kids? Is it because of my husband? Is it because of my neighbors? No. The reality of the situation is because of your own expectations that you have. If you understand this concept, then automatically your attachments to these expectations will lower from itself. You don't have to do anything. If you're trying to forcefully do something, then it is artificial. It will stir your mind up even more. This water. Imagine this water is like your mind. Your mind is always like this, right? Always with ideas. You want to make this water still. What can you do? What do you have to do to make this still? This water is shaking. You need to do something. You want to do something to make this water stay still. What do you have to do? Stop shaking. Stop shaking. So if your mind is also something like this, your mind is also shaking all the time. Different ideas, different thoughts, different emotions, different ideas. You want to stop this as well. But you're trying to do things. You're trying to lower expectations. You're trying to do things to it. Then it will shake even more. Don't do anything to it. Just let it be and be an observer in your mind. See your real cause of anger. See the real cause of your suffering. Then you will realize the real cause of my suffering and anger is not some person who's outside. It is not something, not some object outside. It is not my car. It is not anything like that. It will not be anything physical. Even your body. You will never get attached to something who's outside. You will never get attached to a person who's outside. What you will get attached to is the idea that you have about that person. That is what you get attached to. You might say that I love you, husband, but what you really love is the idea of your husband in your minds. That is what you really love. If you really love that husband outside, who's outside, you will never hate that person. There are people who say, okay, I love you so much, I will do anything for you, but a single incident is enough to make them angry and hate that same person. Why? Because what they love is the imagination that they have about that person, not the real person who's outside. If you understand these things, what you mean by understanding is letting it be and be an observer. If you observe your mind, then it will come still on its own. Had a question?
No questions about your mind. Either artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence?
Oh, artificial intelligence.
Okay. What is nirvana? From your understanding?
Lord, you believe in the life. I need to understand not being reborn.
Not being reborn. Right.
Artificial intelligence is doing this thing. And you won't die.
Artificial intelligence won't die. So, nirvana is essentially like what I explained before, is understanding of a mind. So, artificial intelligence, it does not have a mind. It is a program that has been written by someone.
But it's learning. It must be coming as a within 2 or 3 years. It was so fast. I was every book I go every teaching, lecture.
Yeah. So,
To be smarter than the smartest person.
it will be the smartest person.
So it didn't be able to achieve nirvana.
No, because it is two different things that is what I'm saying. To take your interest, artificial intelligence is programmed, maybe it will become like a mind. But a mind of a soul, is something that goes with karma. So that process will not happen in an artificial intelligence. It is true that it doesn't die and it doesn't it will stay for a long time because it is programmed. But the soul and mind is another concept. It is not alive, like you said.
This solution was that artificial intelligence has no soul.
Yeah.
And the soul.
So
It isn't soul.
soul is the idea of I. It is the ego that some person has. It is an idea in ourselves about me. That is the soul. The idea about I. Does that answer your question? No? Not quite.
We don't know the answer to no question.
So,
Something that's smarter.
okay, let me explain something. There are questions. When I ask the question, it creates 10 more questions. Right? So we can go on. What we can do is now you can believe me, or else you don't believe me. That's what we can do, right? But what I can do for you is I can show you the path to achieve nirvana. There is something that I can do. We argue about some things. I'll give you an example. In Gautam Buddha's time, this is an example that he used. There was a person who was a hunter. He had arrows and he has a bow with him. Now this hunter goes to hunt deers with a bow and arrow. So these arrows are poisoned. So this hunter, he takes aim and he shoots the arrow, and the arrow does not hit a deer, and it hit some other person who's near the deer. So this person is injured. He has been shot by an arrow. So this person was taken to a doctor. So the doctor is trying to take this poisoned arrow out of him. Before we start to take the arrow out, the person is saying, okay, don't take this arrow out yet. I won't know who shot the arrow. Don't take this out. I won't know who shot the arrow. Then the doctor, knowing that this is like poisoned arrow, we have to take it out quickly. Then he has found out who shot the arrow. And he said, okay, this is the person who shot the arrow. Now can we please take this arrow out? Before we are taking the arrow out again, he's saying, okay, don't take this arrow out yet. I won't know what this arrow is made of. Then he's asking more questions. What is the poison? He's not letting the arrow be taken out. So, what Gautam Buddha says is, before asking all the questions about everything, first take the arrow out. Heal your wound. Then talk about all the other things. So, the questions that you ask with the artificial intelligence will appear in environment. So, that is something that I can answer, but I can't show you proof. I cannot show you a soul, right? I cannot show you the answer. It is only that you believe it or not. You can either believe it, or we can go on debating about it. But even though we debate about it, you will not like, it is always about believing or not believing. So I can show, other than that, I can show you a real life teaching that will help solve the suffering in life. That is universal to all of us. If you have an expectation about something, if you have attachment about something, you are bound to suffer. That is an experience that you, me, and every one of us have. I can show you a path to nirvana. Is it enough? I don't.
I said, I think you could still do that happens. If you should worry about, should you worry about future?
There's no point in worry. Now, my mind, it creates imaginations.
You said it, this thing, you're the last. I got, yeah, think about it. Don't worry, the anxiety, it's the terrible.
No, I don't create any anxiety. Because I know one thing. Even though my mind creates something that like, I shouldn't be worried about something, but I know something. I have understood something. What I have understood is the imaginations that my mind has about the future is not the reality. I have like so many experiences in my life. I mean, like you might have rare experiences that I ever have because you have more experience in life. Even though you worry about so many things in life, things will not happen the way you worried, like with the way you worried. Things always happen certain other way.
I understand that you can't control all things, but it doesn't mean you can't think about it.
Yeah, I think about it. I think about all the things. I think about how the world ends. I think about so many different things. I think about nuclear war. I am like a well-informed person. I know things, wars and everything. I am quite educated about all that.
But what would you say if it's a law? You give your response for
Response?
your words. Will it be
It is not a good thing, according to that. Now, if a war happens, people die. So that is not good to society, any society that people live. I don't suffer from it. I can just offer and say, okay, that is bad. That's it. I don't suffer from anything happening like that. But I think about it. Yes, I think about the future. I think about all the things happening. I know I'm like well informed about things happening around the world.
How old were you when you realized or decided?
Become a monk. I was 19 when I first came here. When I was 20, I became a monk. Now I'm 26.
Is there significant of what the color of your outfit and the one that to get to know red?
There's no significance. It's like we have a range of colors that we can choose. The color that we choose here is like to show like we all wear the same color in here. So to show the world, like show people that we are the same group and we are from the same monastery. There's no like significance to it. There's a range of colors.
Is there a difference between Zen Buddhism and the Buddhism that you practice?
The religion, what I mean is like the core teaching is the same. It is all not only in Zen and in this Buddhism, it is in all the religions. Let's say Christianity, Muslim, in every religion, we all talk about this understanding of a mind. That is true. That is same for every religion. But the cultures has differed. According to now, Zen has been going on in Japan, so the cultures are different from Zen to this. So the Christianity has been growing in Europe and US, so the cultures are different. The ways we practice things are different. But we all talk about this one true thing.
Are the students that are here from different socioeconomic backgrounds?
Yes.
How do you recruit them, or how is it they come to be here?
So we like first when we take the intake,
Whoops.
there is not something that we expect, right? But we first we like selected these people from like 6,000 of people who came in they had how can I say that? They were given like we called an interview. And we interviewed these kids and we selected them. There was an interview process.
How did they contact you?
We have social media and we have like media in the country as well. We talked with them and we put an advertise. We did some marketing about it.
Are there any that we region
From
the students for the interview?
yeah, some people, yes.
And what would be the qualification?
Sometimes now we are teaching them technology. If they can't really understand the technologies and stuff, then
I was told by our chart guy that Buddhism years long with this evolution. Can you give me an understanding of Buddhism way of life versus it as a religion, what the next level is as a religion?
so the religion is there to make people more civilized. So some people, they are afraid of religion because they go to hell and there are concepts like that. In all the religions, there is a concept that goes beyond these normal boundaries. In that sense, you will realize that hell and heaven is everything is in your mind. When you're angry, when you're burning from within yourself, that is when you are in hell. When you're in a place of ecstasy, when you're in a lot of joy and happiness, that is when you're living in heaven. So those are two different, those teachings are for two different mindsets. If there's a person who can understand this concepts of our mind, people realize, okay, this normal religion stuff that we do is just to make people like, to balance out their minds in problems that they have. So the religion, like you said, it is about worshipping trees, worshipping pagodas. Like there are also retreats going on about things. So many different things happening. So all of us in the beginning, we all did that. I was also a person who went to like temples, and in every Sunday, in every full moon day, you go to the temple and we do some chantings. So that is in the religion. You also like worship trees, worship pagodas. That is like a very common thing in Sri Lanka. So when you're doing that, some people do this in search of nirvana, in search of enlightenment as well. So if a person do this over and over again, then he understands, okay, doing this, is this what Gautama Buddha said? They ask a question. Then they start to do some research, and then they find out, okay, this is not what it is. It said, this is the culture, and this is the religion. But there is something else in the teaching. The core teaching is always understanding your mind. That has been said clearly in the scripts. But with time goes on and on, they have built a culture around it, and based on that, the religion formed.
Isn't it really just trying to find your true self?
Sorry?
Isn't it just really trying to find your true self?
Yeah. When you go and find your true self, you will find that there is no self to be found, and you will just,
You'd be happy.
yeah. At first, you're trying to find yourself. That's true. But in the end, you will realize that there was nothing to search for. You were just there at that time. You're trying to find yourself is the same thing that I said. Shaking water. You're trying to find it. You will shake it even more and realize, okay, what I should have been doing is to like let it in peace and be observed. It is like you are a fish in the sea who's looking for water. You are a fish in the sea who's surrounded by water, and you're looking for water. You will meet other fish and ask them, where can I find water? And you will keep on swimming through them. And then suddenly you will realize, I was surrounded by water this whole time. There was nothing for me to do. I would just have like realized, okay, I was in that place. When you understand it, that you are in the sea, like when you understand all these imaginations, all these things going on in your head, the reality of the situation, when you understand this, you will realize something. That is, you were there this whole time. This enlightenment is not in a tree. This enlightenment is not underground. It is within you. It is within all of each and every one of you. You just have to understand it. Then you will feel this from within yourself.
What advice would you give to someone that feels driven, ambitious, and wants to affect change in the world, either politically or economically? What advice would you give them? They're not just swimming along. They've got a direction. They want to go somewhere. They want to do something.
So, do it. That's it. When you're in the path to do something, like you want to do something, you're in a path, you're trying to do it. When you're going in that path, if you're truly attached to it, if you really want to do it, have courage within yourself and do it. That's okay. But when you suffer from that same thing that you wanted to do, then I suggest them to look into your minds. When you understand your expectations, you will not suffer from it, but you can do the work even better than you did before. When you are a person who doesn't have attachments towards your expectation, that doesn't mean he is a lazy person. That doesn't mean that he is a person who does nothing. That just means he understands about his attachment. It doesn't mean he is a lazy person. That will be a person who is brand new in every moment. because he has no attachments about anything, because he has no frames about anything. He's a brand new person at every moment. So that person is full of energy. That person is full of action. It is okay to drive yourself to achieve something. People should do that. When you're driving yourself to achieve something, that is when you feel pressure in your mind. That is when this will be really helpful for that person. Understanding is what matters.
So, so I'm understanding that you feel like you've reached a place of enlightenment. I'm still trying to understand where Buddha fits into all this. Are you aspiring to be more like Buddha? And if so, what kinds of steps are involved in getting to that state?
I'm not aspiring to be anyone. I'm just.
Okay. So why is there a Buddha in the belief system?
What we believe in is understanding our minds. What Buddha is the first guru that spoke about this. He's the one who first, like in our recent history, from our religion, he's the one who spoke about it. That doesn't mean I have high regards about it. It means just another person who talked about Nirvana. That's it. I don't have a big value about him. He's our guru. That's it. There's no like values in my mind about things. He's our guru. I have respect towards him. I believe him. That's it.
We would talk about enlightenment and nirvana. And we can talk about the difference or the similarities
It's both the same.
or the same. Yes, the two.
Nirvana, enlightenment, shunya, paradise, heaven, there are so many words. More in different cultures, different religions, there are different words about it.
Well, I learned Buddha spoke about when we reach that highest level, several levels.
Okay.
When you reach the highest level, then you reach nirvana.
There are levels. Yes, there are levels. So the highest level will be Nirvana. So that is same as enlightenment. Those are just words about this experience. Words can be different. Words don't really mean anything. It is there just to give you an idea about something.
So what are the different levels?
Difference level would be like you will feel it for an instant. That will be the first. When you're going through your life, there are different experiences that you get. Let's say you're traveling from Colombo to Goal. There are stops, right? You pass this, you pass that. Likewise, this also have some stops. That is experience. Right? There's no real way to explain that. Any more questions? I think we had a good discussion. Yes.
You plan or think about staying here for a very long time?
I don't plan, I don't know for sure. What I have now is enough for me. Like I have a roof to wear, I have people to talk to, I have air to breathe, I have water to drink. That's all I need. But I'm a dreamer. I dream, I do that as well. I don't really know for sure what will happen.
Maybe someday you'll go off to your own.
Maybe. No. Now, from my mind, now I don't have any idea.
Do you get many Westerners that come
Yeah, you know,
who would stay here, who would learn here
and there are some people from
from the US, from Europe?
yeah, from Europe mostly, US, Europeans mostly, some Russians.
Like you,
Yeah, lots of Russians coming to like Sri Lanka, not only this place, but common mutual Russians are visiting. So how is the trip in Sri Lanka? Is it good?
Yes.
So I believe you're going back tomorrow or day after?
The day after.
4 days more?
Yeah.
So I hope that it was a good discussion.
Thank you. Thank you.
So when you go back, I'll give you some links. If you want to learn more about this, there are some videos in YouTube like the discussion that we had. So when you go back, maybe you can listen to those things. Not like on daily basis, maybe 1 to a month. You can like listen to it in the background, maybe while you're cooking, while you're driving, you can just listen to it in the background. So if you do this for like quite some time, then you will understand something from yourself. It's like your attachments will decrease in life. When your attachments decrease in life, you will be more happy. That is true, because you don't have much attachment. You will start to enjoy this moment of yours. You will not plan to be happy. You will be happy. I remember I went on a trip before I came here. I was like the planner of the trip. Every stop that I took, I was planning about the next stop. Every stop, I was like the planner. Like I said, I plan about okay, how are we going to get to the other place. But I've never really enjoyed that. And I realized something from my mind as well. We always try to plan our mind to be happy. I'll do this, I'll do that, and I'll be happy. But that planning process never stops until you die. Other than planning, it is okay to plan. I also plan. But those plans are not the reality to me. Ideas are coming in and ideas are going out. That is my reality. I don't judge these ideas. I don't divide these ideas. I don't attach, neither reject the ideas. I don't have frame about these ideas in my mind. I'm just a free observer. And I enjoy my life at this very moment. So I bless you all that you could understand and achieve some happiness in life. Because even though you chase after physical things in life, those things will never bring you happiness. What will make you happy is the understandings that you have about yourselves that will bring you happiness. So I bless you all for your future endeavors. And another thing, it is said that the greatest cinnamon, the most tastiest cinnamon in the world grows in Sri Lanka. So we also have cinnamon plantations here. So we made a nice cup of tea for you. You can enjoy that as well when you're going. So it is not added sugar or anything, it is pure cinnamon. So it was nice meeting you all, and I bless you for your future.